Hello guys, welcome to my channel. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to use scientific notation to simplify a mathematical expression. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So here we're going to use scientific notation to simplify. So you're not allowed to use a calculator, okay? So no calculator. So you're taking an ACT and then you have a problem like that. So let's go ahead and start with this problem here. So we have, say, 2.6 times 10 to the negative 8, and you have all of that multiplied to, say, 1.2 times 10 to the 9, all to be divided by 2.6 times 10 to the 9. No, something like this. So how are you going to do this? All right, so first what we can do here is to look at everything here as multiplication. So I'm just going to rewrite that as 2.6 times 10 to the negative 8 times 1.2 times 10 to the 9 divided by 2.6 times 10 to the 9. So if we learned our cancellations, I know that this 10 to the 9s will go away, and then that would simplify that to 2.6 times 10 to the negative 8 times 1.2 is to be divided by 2.6 times 1, right? Times 1. So basically we can just take that away. All right, again, we can see if we use our cancellations again, we can take this 2.6 away with that. Good. And then we end up with 10 to the negative 8 times 1.2, which is exactly 1.2 times 10 to the negative 8. So this is still in scientific notation. All right, so if they wanted us to write the number, okay, to write the number, that would be like it is going to be equal to, you just move the decimals, just move the decimal one time, okay, to the right. It can be as 12 times 10 to the negative 1 times 10 to the negative 8, because you had to move the decimal one step to the right, so it will be times 10 to negative 1. So again, we can combine because we have the same basis here, base 10, so it will be 12 times 10, and then you just add the exponents, which is going to be negative 9. So here it means that you're going to have to move the decimals 9 steps to the left. So meaning that I'm going to write my 12 over here and move my decimals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, a dot, and a 0. So I'll just enter zeros for the rest. So something like that. So this is very helpful. So which means my final result should be 0 point, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 1, 2. Done. So let's try another one. Say you have another problem here saying that you need to simplify 4.0 times 10 to the negative 6, all to multiply to 6.25 times 10 to the 12th power, all to be divided by 2.5 times 10 to the 8th power. Okay, so this is what I can do. So here I can do this problem as 4.0 times 10 to the negative 6 times 6.25 times 10 to the 12th, just remove all the parentheses, divided by 2.5 times 10 to the 8. All right, so here's what I can do. So I can't use a calculator. So what I can do here is kind of see if I can combine the powers of 10. Maybe I can do that. So let's go ahead and see what we got. So it'll be 4.0 times 6.25. I'm just using the commutative property for real numbers times 10 to the negative 6 times 10 to the 12th all over 2.5 times 10 to the 8. And which is going to be equal to, so now I have 10 and 10, so I'm going to combine the exponents by adding. Okay, so I add the exponents because I have multiplication and they have same basis, so I can add the exponents. So that means I have 4. 4.0 is 4. I can leave that as 4, or just leave it as 4.0 times 6.25 times 10 to negative 6 plus 12. And we know that negative 6 plus 12 is exactly going to be positive 4. So I'll just go ahead and write positive 4. Okay, so I write positive 4 right here. And then I am going to divide all of that by 2.5 times 10 to the 8th power. So again, I have division here. So I'm going to pay attention to the basis of 10. Okay, pay attention to that. So since I have division, so what I'm going to do here is to subtract the exponents of 10 to the 4 and 10 to the 8. So this is what I'm going to do. So let's go ahead and just write 4.0 times 6.25, okay, times 10 to the 4th power minus 8, all divided by 2.5. Look what I did. So I had to subtract because they have same basis, so I have to subtract them. So subtracting them means, I'm trying to divide 10 to the 4th power by 10 to the 8th power. All right, so now from here, I am going to get, since I have 4 minus 8 is negative 4, so I'll just go ahead and delete that and replace with negative 4. So which means what I can do next is look for what I can do, maybe get some, you know, uh, exponents of 10 from that, exponents of 10. So what I can do here is to move 4.0 to 4 and multiply that with 6.25, which is like 625, but times 10 to the second negative 2, because this is it. I'm moving the decimal twice to the right, so it'll be times 10 to the negative 2 because I'm increasing the number from 6.25 to 625. So I would have to now multiply by 10 to the negative 2. So times 10 to what? To the negative 4. And I'm going to divide that by, I will also increase 2.5 to be 25 times 10 to the negative 1. Good. So it's coming together. So here I have 4 times 625. I'll just be patient because I don't have a calculator. Times. Now I'm going to have to combine the exponents right here. Combining the exponent gives me 10 to the negative 6 because I'm looking at negative 2 plus negative 4. And negative 2 plus negative 4 is exactly going to give us negative 6. So I'll just go ahead and write negative 6. And I'm going to divide that by 25 times 10 to the negative 1. Again, I'm now going to have to subtract their exponents since I'm having to divide them because I can see what is common. So I'm going to have to separate their exponents to get them together. So this is what I intend to do. So it is going to give 4 times 625 times 10 to the negative 6 minus the denominator has negative 1, so it will be negative 1. And then I'm going to divide that by 25. Again, if I do the math, I know that negative 6 minus 1 becomes negative 6 plus 1. Yes, so I'll take my erasers and just remove this and replace with positive 1. You can rewind back to see what I did here. All right, so from here, I can actually conclude that I have what? 10 to the negative 5. Yes, so negative 6 plus 1 will be 10 to the negative 5. So again, I'm using my erasers to do this. All right, cool. So this is what I have. And then if you look, I think 25 divides exactly into 625. I think 25 times 25 is 625, I guess. So those 25 goes with 625. How many times again? That will be 25 times. So leaving me with those results here. So this is going to give us 4 times. So 25 divides itself 1 and divides 625 25 times. So it will be 4 times 25, 4 times 25, then times 10 to the negative 5. Okay, and we know that 4 times 25 is 100. So which means we have 100 times 10 to the negative 5. And 100 times 10 to the negative 5, 100, notice that 100 is just like 10 to the second power. So 10 to the second power times 10 to the negative 5. Here again, we can combine the exponents since we have the same basis. It will be 10 to the negative 3. So which means positive 2 plus negative 5. And positive 2 plus negative 5 is exactly negative 3. So I'm just going to replace that by negative 3. So again, let's go with negative 3. And 10 to the negative 3 is actually going to be 0, which is like a 1 over 1,000, okay? So which is like 1 divided by 1,000. So exactly. So you're moving 3 steps backward from 1. So it's going to be 0.001. 3 zeros, okay? So this is how you can write it. But in if you want to write this in scientific, you can go back to 1.0 times 10 to the negative 3, because this is just 10 to the negative 3, right? So, and then we want it to be in the scientific form. If you wanted to take it to scientific form, you would have to introduce 1.0, which is just 1, an identity, and then you then multiply it to the actual number here, which is 10 to the third power. I hope this is helpful, and thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you again next time.